welcome back to another episode of Arc or Fark.
Nope, now hello everyone.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Arc or Fark. We decide if we have Arc or fake Arc in front of us.
You never know.
Take a look. You get guesses in the chat.
Look.
Looks like we've got Fark.
I'm real.
It feels like Fark though.
Given the impressive ventriloquism talent going on here. Alright, hello everyone, welcome back. Hope y'all had a happy holiday season and are having a wonderful new year. Mine's been going pretty well so far. How about all of you?
Pretty good.
Good. Glad to hear it.
I've been cooking a lot.
Nice. I have actual work for real finally tomorrow, so...
Boo.
Sad. Yeah. Alright, so... anybody have any announcements, personal or otherwise, before we proceed onwards with the recap?
Just happy
Alright.
to be here.
Alright. So, what happened last time was, a good chunk of the party, but not everybody, had made their way, over towards Avelia on the ship. And as they were sailing, came across a giant glittering crystal tower giant glittering crystal tower that, as they approached, Agneta Thricefold, the hag that everyone had had some dealings with in the past, attempted to do something through Victoria, or to Victoria, and Victoria was able to just immediately fight that off, or something did. And then Agneta was just like, well, shit. Plan B, demons. Go and get them. And so a bunch of demons appeared and attacked the tower and started trying to tear it down because, as Yule was made aware in her time in Agneta's castle, some kind of towers are the only thing keeping Agneta imprisoned on her mountain, and this appears to have been one of them, and she's been watching all of you, and just you got close enough to one of them that she was able to find it and attack it. However, you were able to start fighting it off, especially with the help of the return of Galena, who showed up, having also been going in that direction. With the demons defeated, you were all able to reunite and start heading back in the direction of Avelia. At which point, Princess leapt on board after having seen the bright light from the tower illuminating and everything, and came to investigate it. You are all able to reunite with each other. Galena relayed to everyone that the reason she was no longer in Aor and was not trying to, go do her politics there is because Galena and Victoria are wanted for questioning in relation to the murder of Lord Canro, given that it's been several weeks since that happened, a couple months actually, and Madame Ingwe was able to be the one that gets back to Aor first to tell the story. A classic Pocahontas too. And
see it.
yeah, we really hate to see Pocahontas 2. It's not a good sequel.
F's in the chat for all of us.
Really, most Disney sequels aren't.
F's in the chat for Disney.
I think they can handle it. But yeah, so Galena decided it would be best to retreat rather than try and deal with that. So retreat and regroup and reunited with the party. Princess brought everyone back to her aunt's house, which was more or less on the coast and kind of set up in just this dense section of forest, and it was just completely overgrown with plants and ivy and everything. And you were like, oh yeah, that's a lovely home. And then you got inside, and it actually was. It is very nice inside, and the overgrowth and everything was mostly just used to disguise it, because her aunt is in some sort of exile, it would seem. After speaking with Princess a bit, you came to the conclusion that you're basically going to need to get closer to some civilization in Avelia. This house is pretty far away and pretty far removed from anything. And the current plan is to head towards the capital of Avelia, Ivan's Crest, because that's where pretty much all the important stuff is in terms of this is where the capital is. This is where several important things are. This is where the palace is, where Princess's family is staying. So the current plan is to just start making your way up in that direction, but you can get any supplies you need before you head out. Princess will make it clear that for at least the first chunk of traveling, she should probably travel separately from the rest of you, just because she wants, for her purposes, for her plans, element of surprise is kind of helpful for what she's got going on, and being like, you all are not associated with her currently within the country of Avelia, so being seen together would make it a little bit...
We're also not very subtle.
That too. So
I'm a very tall lady wearing very little clothing.
Mm-hmm. So having you all be strangers and not necessarily associated with Princess will allow for more of an element of surprise when you arrive in the capital, so there's going to be some separation and traveling happening there. So yeah.
For us.
Just to kind of add a little bit in here, because Princess won't be here to give you this information. It is normally... have the distance right here. It is normally at a pretty long distance to get to the capital from here. It's like the northern end of the country. We're looking at like 22 days of walking at a slow pace, 15 days at a normal pace, and like 12 at a fast pace. However, this is back at the house and everything. Princess will let you know that there is a sort of a secret within Avelia, that there are... Avelia is a very old and very strange, massive forest, and within it are some things that I won't say defy explanation, but for most people defy explanation. And among those, there are things that there are places that seem to link other places together, and this is a pretty common occurrence to come across in the forests of Avelia. And one of those places is a few days walk north from this house, and it links to a location much closer to the capital, basically allowing you to take a much shorter route to the capital by making use of some mystical, magical woodland teleportation. Or so it seems. And she can give you directions to how to get to that place before you leave.
I love portals. Notorious fan of portals. Really excited to be doing this. Did you just say victorious fan of portals?
No, it's a notorious fan of portals or just notorious user of them.
Okay.
Just wondering if it's like a choice.
Well, maybe.
Right. So, we'll get started with all of you kind of in the process of, you're leaving and going to be heading out for some traveling soon. So any preparations you want to do, any conversations you want to have before you leave, and then we'll get you all set out.
Yule's pretty no thoughts head empty. I mean, all of the thoughts, a head full of the sorrows that they've seen, but I don't think there's anything that she particularly needs to do.
Okay. Anybody else? Anything you want to do? Anything you want to talk to each other about?
No, I don't really have any conversations.
Oh my god, it's Rark.
Not Rark!
Real Ark.
Barker Rark.
Barker Rark is my new favorite game.
Good game.
You come across two people in front of a door. One is called Fark, one is called Rark. One always tells the truth and one of them always lies.
Yes! Oh my god. If I ever get a fantasy series published, you bet I'm having some twins named Fark and Rark. And they will give riddles.
I just
The
want you to know that this is the prime content that you are watching for.
Oh, absolutely,
This
yeah.
is. You've been wondering what has been missing for this holiday season that we just finished. This is it.
A good game of Fark or Rark. That was what was missing at my family Christmas. A rousing game of Fark or Rark.
Mm-hmm. I also just really like the image of just like you talking to an editor and the editor just being like, everything's great, but can we talk about these Fark and Rark characters? Like, absolutely not, non-negotiable.
No.
I will take my business elsewhere.
Absolutely not. Why would you question Fark or Rark? Fark and Rark? Fark and Rark are now essential members of this. I mean, the whole story is going to be crafted around them. And not to do with them. They're very Tweedledee, Tweedledum. They'll just come into the story and leave. But, like, they're essential.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything you want to do? Anything y'all want to do before you're setting out? Then.
Are we still at Princess's house?
Princess's aunt's house.
Princess's
yes.
aunt's house. Yeah, we're still at Princess's aunt's house. I mean, really, just thank her for her hospitality and head out because we've got places to be.
Okay. Yeah, she'll her aunt will say, will tell you, it was no trouble at all. I'm very happy to provide any sort of assistance for my niece and her friends.
Well, you've got a wonderful niece.
Yes, I think I do.
All right, well, we'll be going, but if there's anything that you need, just let us know. And, I mean, we could come back or we could send things.
I'll let you know. I have my my children, Philia and Phobos, travel back and forth to and from the cities in the capital for me. So they make sure I'm taken care of.
That's good to know. It's good to not be alone.
Yes, I suppose it is.
Well, we should be going.
All right, travel safely. The woods can be a treacherous and strange place, so be careful.
Do you have any advice for us?
Don't do much traveling myself, but be careful, be wary, but also be friendly and humble as well.
Oh, let me find the accent. Sorry, it's gone.
I feel that.
Beats.
Deep in my soul.
Okay, yes. So I don't need beats. But if you perhaps have some boots I could buy, I
Journal.
literally set out with only these ridiculous high heels, and it's quite foresty out there, and I did trip on my way up.
I think I can manage something like that, and she'll go around.
Just like any kind of just boot.
Mm-hmm. She goes and she can find some like leather calf boots for you.
How janky are they with the outfit?
She has them both in black and brown, so she'll let you choose which would match better.
Truly blue would match best, but
well, yes.
All right, I'll take the brown. Thank you so much.
All right. Yeah, you can put them on. It's definitely a lot more support than you're used to getting in your walking.
Yeah. Ugh, these sacrifices we make for practicality.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, your maps are marked. You know where you're going. You will need to do some navigating though, because the woods are dense and it is easy to get lost. So survival checks will need to be happening in order to make sure you stay on course.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
Let me grab my
I'm
dice.
not terrible at survival, but I'm
Good.
pretty sure are two kind of like survival experts, Princess and Sullivan.
I think they might be.
Great.
I don't remember what I did for Yule and survival. I might actually have some.
Oh, your survival actually might be good because it's linked to like a core monk stat.
It's also, I think, something that I picked maybe for backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially. Let me just check. Haha! Survival +5.
Hey, there you go.
That's one of my better stats.
Nice. All right. So, y'all can start off and begin your trek. So for the first bit, you don't really like they point you in a direction, so you don't really need to do it at the beginning of the day.
I'd also say that with all of the talk of buying boots, Yule would look down at her boots and remember the fact that Princess bought her these boots, and now she feels like Princess is with them, even though she headed off on by herself.
Aw.
All right, what are we getting ourselves into?
You're walking. You're beginning to trek your way through the woods. Now, the main thing about this is the fact that this journey will not take you over any existing roads or anything like that. It is a journey directly through the wilderness. So, as basically you kind of just start walking, and you're immediately trekking right into the underbrush and like pushing your way past branches and weaving your way around bushes and walking in through and amongst the trees as you begin making your way towards this location that is marked on your map. Princess's aunt drew a little picture on the map for you. It is a circle of standing stones, so almost a henge, if you will, of stones. Not that big, but that basically she tells you just like there's several of these around here, but like if you're in the right spot, you can't miss it. There's not really anything else like this immediately in that vicinity. So yeah, you can begin trekking your way through the woods. It's like probably like midday by the time you end up leaving, so it's like nice and sunny out. There's birds chirping. But as you get deeper and deeper into the forest, because this does take you farther from the coast, it starts to get a lot more shady, a lot darker, because as you're moving and just the canopy starts to get denser and denser up above you and let less and less light through. Who is leading the expedition? Who's leading the navigation here? And what is everybody else doing as you travel?
I would say like normally Yule would maybe be like bounding forward, but since we have Marietta with us, she would probably want to stick close to her so she feels safer.
Yes, you do have Marietta with you, and I suppose she is walking right along with you. She
is.
She packed quite a bit, so she probably she knew you were all out. You knew you were all the adventure types that she was getting in with, so she's got like some practical traveling clothes, as practical as she could get, but she at least has boots.
Great. Good to hear. She's not in like a ball gown or anything.
She's not just like walking through the woods in a ball gown.
Which is a move, Galena. No shade.
Listen, sometimes
no shade.
you're in ball gown, and then sometimes you're in forest, and you have to make do.
It just happens.
It just happens sometimes. Everybody knows.
Oh yeah, it's happened to me a million times. So
I'm just drawing my cards because it's a new day.
Okay.
Yes, good idea.
Which I technically would have done at the mansion. I won't lie, I simply forgot how my character works.
That's totally fine.
It's all right. I think you would probably be looking toward Ark for this because he's more of a navigator, or Ark Tedros, to this.
Oh, you mean
Tark.
Tark.
The newest Ark. To Tedros for this. There was a show I watched and a character was named Tedros. It was a movie. There was a character named Tedros, and I was like, oh my god. But she'd probably be looking at Tedros for this, because she doesn't even know where she's from, let alone where they are and where to go from here.
And
Yes.
Jacqueline's a pretty noble woman, so she is also letting someone else take the lead when it comes to navigating for us.
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds like that's Ark then.
You step outside the house and you just see us both looking at you like,
Cool.
Honestly, I'm probably
Yeah.
journaling while we walk.
journaling. That's how you gotta get back into your voice. Journal.
Yeah, dude,
There
you
it
just
is.
had to journal.
Journal.
Okay. So yeah. I'm doing a quick peek just to double check whether or not I need to change any of my spells. But Tedros will take some time to kind of think through the direction they're on. I think he will actually probably try to see if he can make a nature check to see if he has just kind of see what he knows about like the kind, like based on the trees and the type of terrain, what he might have to expect.
Okay, go ahead and roll for that.
Cool. That's gonna be it's a good number. And I know what nature is. Cool. That's a 15.
Okay. So you're just looking for general information about.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got a deciduous forest here. Despite the fact that it's getting pretty late in the year, actually, you're coming up on essentially October. Yet every single leaf in this place is still a deep emerald green. So there is no sign of shifting color so far from everything in here. You can just tell from listening that there's a large amount of animal presence. You can hear things, you can't necessarily see them. You'll hear lots of birds and things, and animal calls in the distance. Occasionally hear rustling and undergrowth, and there is a bustling insect population, just as for every stump and fallen log and rock you kick over. So you can tell this place is very, very full of life, and it is likely that if you need to forage for food, you will probably have an easy time doing that. But also there will probably be some wildlife to contend with.
Okay.
Sounds good. So yeah, once he's like, okay, I think this is what I remember about it, and he'll look around, just ask, are we ready to go?
What temperature is it, Sam?
Probably like lower 70s.
Okay.
What temperature is that, Sam?
I'm sorry, do you guys not have freedom units where you are?
Freedom units.
It's about 22, 23 degrees Celsius.
Oh, that's warm. We're doing great.
Yeah.
You don't want the freedom units.
I'm just sad because you can't be in her cloaks.
Oh yeah.
I
See,
mean, like, it's the forest. A cloak is like fantastic to wear in a forest, but
I mean, you can have one cloak on.
no, it's not the same. It's not the same.
All or nothing.
It's
I
gotta
see.
be at least 3 or nothing.
I see.
Gotcha.
Okay.
We've got to find you like a cloak of cooling so that you can like wear a bunch of cloaks on top of it, you know?
Oh, that's
That'd be
a
nice.
fantastic idea.
Like one of those cooling blankets, or like those pillows that are always cool on.
Yes.
Yeah, like the dog beds that are like
Yeah, amazing. That's what you'll need.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, I guess she's probably just in her regular like performance
Okay.
slash leisure wear. Yes, I'm ready to go.
All right. Marietta, you okay? Ready?
Yes, I'm doing quite well. Yes, I think I can handle this.
All right, let's go. And Tedros will set out and attempt to follow the directions as best he can.
Okay. I'll tell you at first you don't need to roll anything just because you've got a pretty clear direction to follow, so you don't really need to do any navigating for the first bit. But eventually you'll need to. So after a couple hours of walking through these woods, go ahead and give me a survival check to stay on course.
All right. Oh, that's good. I like that. That's a 21.
Ooh, okay. All right. You are having a very easy time following these directions. Tedros probably follows a very scientific method for maintaining direction and things like that. So, you probably know all the tricks. Like, you know that moss doesn't grow on only one side of a tree, but you know the ways that it does grow and how to cross-reference that with other things. And like, look at that in a canopy, like in a heavily, densely packed forest like this, you can't rely on the direction of the sun, but you do know that certain things will grow and like leaves will face in the direction of the sun, usually on certain plants, and they'll like adjust during the day, so you can use those as compasses, and you can combine all these factors together to keep yourself walking through the woods. And yeah, it's uneven terrain. You're going like up and down. The big part of the navigation is not necessarily just continuing in a straight line. It's the fact that these are, there's hills and drops and bluffs and dense thickets and things. You have to walk around, and like as you go around, you have to make sure you maintain that direction. There's just a very steep hill just covered in trees that you have to kind of skirt the bottom of and walk around. And if you look up at the very top of it, you can see just like a small family of deer just like up at the very top munching on some leaves, but like when one of you steps on a twig, like they all perk up and then just dash away. But yeah. The first eventful thing happens a little while after that. As you're making your way forward, you start to hear a sound, and it's one of those sounds it comes on gradually because you're approaching it, but it also is one of those sounds that easily blends into the background noise. So let's just get around to perception checks to see who hears this first.
I'm sitting pretty at a 17.
Okay.
Oh, perception.
Yeah.
Non-nat 20.
Ooh, okay, so it's Yule that hears it first. You can just hear this constant droning, buzzing sound from up ahead. Just
Guys? Do you hear that?
What? What?
That kind of buzz sound.
What?
There's a buzzing. It's like right up ahead.
It's one of those things. As soon as Yule points it out, you can suddenly like pick it out.
Oh. Oh, yeah, now that you mentioned it. Huh.
Should we be concerned?
The person who would know is not with us.
Do you think maybe there's someone up ahead or some sort of machine?
Or perhaps bug? Big bug.
Oh, big bug. It could be a big bug.
I would very much hope it's not a big bug. But
Or millions of very small bugs.
that
Yeah,
would be
it could
way
be.
worse than millions of
Yeah, I too would
100-foot
prefer
bug.
one
Well-
large bug over millions of little ones.
Yes.
Well, you'd like to fight one, like, giant bug? I mean, like the crabs. Like, would it have been better to fight, like, a lot of tiny crabs or the giant crab that we
Oh,
fought?
personally, for me, I think one big thing over many little things.
Every time?
No, not
I've-
every time.
I've yet to run into something that I did not wish for it to be this way.
That's good. I just, as someone who keeps dealing with really big things, I would like smaller ones. I can handle a couple of smaller ones.
Yeah, like, what
but-
about a bunch of tiny horses? I feel like I could manage a bunch of tiny horses over a really, really colossal horse.
That's a
Yeah.
good point. Horses I hadn't considered before.
I feel like horses are the thing I would think of immediately.
What about seahorses?
I think I would also take a bunch of tiny seahorses. Although if I'm underwater, I don't think that'll do very well no matter what. But,
I'd pick big seahorse and ride on it.
well, I didn't think about taming the giant creature. What if we killed the giant crab, but we could have tamed it?
Nope, not that one.
Oh, yeah.
Not that one.
Yeah.
Maybe
He's
there's another
already
one
been
out there.
tamed. But by an evil tamer.
Yeah.
Well, I hope
Oh.
that this isn't a giant swarm of bugs.
Yeah. It's fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Should we
It'll be
try
fine.
to skirt around, or do we want to like actually?
What if we're just really quiet and approach and see what it is?
That I like that idea better.
Is Victoria with us?
Yeah, she's with you.
I'm gonna like look at her and all of her very loud armor and how great she is at stealth, and be like, yeah, we could probably go quietly through very trippy forest.
Would you like me to scout ahead?
That is a good idea.
All right. And Yule will just she'll give her bag to one of them
Mm-hmm.
and then just start like creeping, at a normal pace, but like
Right.
trying to, if she sees anything, she's gonna sort of like skirt out of view of anyone.
Okay.
Just cautiously approaching the buzzing and trying to stay out of view of anyone.
All right. You can approach it from probably a pretty good distance and make your way over. You don't need a stealth check for this,
Okay.
because you get far enough away that it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
But you can just see as you start making your way forward, you get into this section where every other tree that you can see in this entire chunk of forest up ahead of you is covered in what looks like some kind of like grayish brown papery kind of material that's like formed in globs around it, and you can tell the buzzing is buzzing in the air, and you can see that basically this entire section of forest is like one giant colony of beehives.
Nest, yeah, okay. Okay. Cool. Yikes. All right. Yule is going to dash back to everybody else and let them know. So, guys, how do you feel about bees?
It depends. Is it millions of little bees or one large bee?
I think it's a lot of little bees. I can't
Okay.
be
Not
certain.
good.
I can't be certain that there wasn't one large bee like looming somewhere. I don't know if they don't have like a queen or something, but
I don't think they get to be that much bigger than normal ones, do they?
I don't know. I've never been here.
Also never been here.
Have you been here?
No, but if Princess comes from a place where the bees are the size of dogs or horses or giant crabs, then she should warn us about things like that before we come up.
Perhaps she just thinks it's normal because she's from here.
Exactly.
I hope not.
Like,
I
I
mean-
probably wouldn't have told you all that you can barter in Aor by simply flipping coin, because I would have just started flipping coin, you know?
Flipping coin.
Yes, it's lots of luck-based stuff happening over in Aor.
Huh. Well, I don't know what I should and shouldn't say about where I come from. You guys kind of act like everything is weird, so I can understand if Princess comes from a place that has giant bees not saying anything about it, because you don't know that other places don't have giant bees.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like might just be me. I think that you should tell people if you are used to giant bees.
Just as like an icebreaker at a party.
Yeah.
Like, hi, my name is Princess and I'm from a place with giant bees.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm glad we've resolved that.
We have
No, I have a follow-up question, actually.
Yeah.
What if other giant... Is it just giant bees? Or do you have to be like, hello, name Princess, I come from place with giant bee, badger, boar, horse, fly...
Well, you could
Like,
simplify
how
it.
many big things must be said?
I
Well,
would just say giant animals and just leave it there.
and what if you have
umbrella
lots of...
term.
What if you have tiny animals? Like, what if you come from a place where you've got elephants the size of, like, little bugs, and they're just, like,
you
rampant,
have to say something.
right?
At that, like, if you have tiny little elephants, you have to say.
But how do you know that it's weird? How do you know that everybody doesn't have giant or tiny elephants and giant bees?
I don't know, I just feel like you have to say something.
Well, I think that we're in a foreign land and we're going to encounter foreign creatures. So, maybe we try to skirt around the bees?
Sure.
Do you know if there's a way to do that on the path?
I mean, path is very liberal so far. It hasn't been too bad, but I mean, it
Yes,
could
but our
definitely
route.
be better. I don't. We can try it. I'm just gonna say though, I don't know this land super well, so any deviations we take, I have to kind of guesstimate us back to where we're supposed to be. So
I wish we could just create like a shield of some sort around us so we could just go through the bee territory.
okay, well,
If I had all my cloaks, they couldn't get through 15 layers of cloaks.
yes. You know what else doesn't get through 15 layers of cloaks? Any sort of wind that will keep you from sweating until you pass out. So we'll deal with what we've got. I'm willing to just go straight through, and we'll see if I think I have an idea if they get to be aggressive. But I think as long as we don't bother them, they won't bother us.
I'm so sorry. I just had the intrusive thought of like, make Yul allergic to bees. I'm not going to. It was just the intrusive thoughts.
As when the DM asks, "Hey, has your character ever been stung by a bee before?"
They don't start
no.
coming. They
Oh,
don't
let me roll
stop
some
coming.
dice real quick.
You know what's really funny is that I genuinely don't think Galina's ever been stung by a bee before.
I'm gonna say Yul probably has.
And then at Galina's funeral, Victoria's just like, "Where are her glasses? She can't see without her glasses."
Oh my god. Oh,
If you know what movie I'm referencing, you may be entitled to compensation for childhood trauma.
Okay.
Wait, was it not just Velma from Scooby-Doo?
No.
No,
Now I want to know.
is that Macaulay Culkin?
I
think
think
it is.
Bridge to Terabith, yeah.
No. Similar. It's My Girl, the movie.
Oh,
with-
My Girl is like
Yeah,
literally the saddest movie in the entire world. And yes, bees. I now
the
understand.
one where a kid dies because of his bee
Bees.
sting allergy.
I
yeah.
now understand. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, there's like several movies that come to mind when I think of bees. Not only Bee Movie, but you know, Wicker Man, the bees. So I forgot about My Girl because you know, you want to block it out. And yes, I am entitled. I am entitled to compensation for my childhood trauma because I watched My Girl. I watched Pay It Forward. I watched so many horrendous, sad movies. In you know, if there's
Did
financial
y'all ever watch that
compensation for that, I
anti-bullying
deserve it.
movie Emily Osmond was in?
No.
No.
It had
think
like,
so.
the
But I know
Spears
exactly
song
what you're
"Breathe Me"
talking
in it.
about. I know
right?
what you're talking about. I don't
was
think I ever
wild.
watched it fully.
It honestly made bullying more prevalent in my high school.
It made you want to bully people.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Sometimes
Anyway,
the
so
movie's
what are we
so
doing-
bad.
So what are we doing with the bees?
Going into the forest, I suppose.
Just walking
it-
through?
Tedros says he wants to risk it for biscuit.
We trust Tedros with our lives.
But that being said, I think I will cast a little spell right before we go through.
Oh, wait. Yes, hold on. Let me do thing.
I will take out a card. I will hand it to Marietta, and cast Warding Bond,
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
just in case she feels
Would you like to
squishy.
share with the class what that does while I also look it up?
Yes, so Warding Bond, she becomes resistant to damage while she is within 60 feet of me, and she also has +1 to AC, and any damage she takes, I also take.
Right.
Amazing. Okay, Yule.
Do you have the pair of platinum rings worth at least 50? Oh, that's right. We said yes. No material components for your
Yes,
spells.
it's just guard.
Yes, because it's random, and yeah, having all of those material components would be ridiculous.
Yes, it's big spell list.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Yule is going to take out her playing cards and cast augury.
Okay.
About whether or not it's a good idea to walk straight through the bees forest, bee land.
Okay. All right.
Cast.
So you cast augury.
Mm-hmm.
What my options are here.
Wheel,
Sit down,
woe, wheel and
lay out
woe,
your-
or nothing.
Next 30 minutes. Yeah, that'd be with the dexterity experiment. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. You're gonna get a whoa response.
Oh shit.
Tedros. I just drew from my deck and got a 9, a 2, and a 9, and I from what Galena and Victoria, well,
It's
mostly
not good thing.
from what mostly Galena has taught me, it's woe. It's not good news if we go straight through the forest with the bees.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, it's up to you if you want to go, but I just I
no,
figured I'd
trust you.
check.
That's fair. All right. We'll try and go around, and I'll see what I can do to sort of keep us on path.
Around it.
Yeah, we can try that.
Yeah, I think it's best.
Okay.
I'm
So you gonna go around the
proud of
bees, then?
you.
Thank you, sister.
That was an excellent reading.
I tried.
All right, yeah, we're gonna go around it.
Okay. Then in that case, Tedros, go ahead and give me another survival check to navigate around this just bunch of bees.
You
Very
know
glad
it.
that that's
You
the number
love
it
it.
is. That's a 22.
Sick.
Okay. You are able to successfully navigate around. You can tell this is a good sized chunk of forest here that you like. It's not just a matter of like walking right around it. Like it's a good chunk of forest here. And as you go by, you can see that what I'll say you can catch as you're going by, and taking your time and skirting around it, is that not only are there these hives up attached to the trees, but there's also what appears to be some kind of separate species of ground and dirt-based bees that have their hives set up on the ground, hidden under the undergrowth and leaves and things like that. So
immediately no.
Yeah, and walking through, you can tell immediately that like walking through there and trying to avoid the trees would have resulted in you possibly just like stepping on a bunch of them, and just setting off the whole horde.
Oh my god, I'm so glad that I did augury.
Checking with your cards that let you read the future. Helpful.
That's fucking crazy. It's never been that helpful before. Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll keep. I think I'll keep it.
Like, should we do this immediate thing right here that seems like it could be dangerous? And the cards will be like, no.
That's fucking amazing. Because like I kept wondering if it would be one of those things where it's like if we go in there, there's gonna be good like things in there to find. Oh, but you know, we also will.
I think there might be a reward that will outweigh the risk.
Exactly, which would have been a wheel and woe result, I would think. So, so yeah, that was cool. I like that. All right.
Yeah.
We go around the forest. We skirt through. And Yule feels good respecting the bees and not intruding on their home.
All right. See then. All right, so you can continue traveling forward, but eventually just a few more hours pass by. Your first day is pretty uneventful, and it does start getting dark. You do know it's going to take you a few days to get there, so you will need to make camp.
All right, well.
This is the first time... Wait, no, it can't be. This isn't the first time you guys like camped in the wilderness before, right?
No, we've had tents and stuff.
That's right. Yeah. It's been a while though. It's been like since Sveruk.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. So you have to worry way less about the cold when you camp right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember though, like what I have with me for camping. Now that you mention it.
I mean, Tedros has some stuff. Oh, that's what I should have prepared. Okay, I'll keep that in mind for tomorrow if need be. Yep, Tedros offers to kind of look around a bit and just see what's out there, see what needs to be seen, and so on and so forth, and just check to make sure that there aren't any other things while it's still light enough for him to do so.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation check then, as you're kind of just like walking around investigating. I'm assuming this is around like where you're going to be picking through your campsite. Okay.
That's a better number.
Don't think that I have a tent.
I don't. Tedros definitely doesn't have a tent. I know when we had tents, we had gotten them from the Queen. Loaded us up. But other than that, it's been just our bedrolls and blankets.
Yeah. Okay.
Investigation is a. What are numbers? 18.
Okay. You're walking around your proposed campsite and everything, and the only thing you see is one of the trees near your campsite, down pretty low, like almost at ground level, just at the point where like the grass is just about to reach it, is what looks like a face. Like, it looks like it was carved in the side of the tree, but it's like it's made of the bark. Like, it's not like the fresh wood underneath. It's like a face made of the bark that just looks like, just like a eyes closed, sleeping face.
Very Peter Core. It was a Hunger Games joke.
Oh my god. I was like, for a second I was just like, what did they do? What kind of did they start painting faces on trees or something like that as a protest? What did PETA do?
Oh boy.
It turned himself into a rock.
I'm just thinking of Pocahontas again. Grandmother Willow.
Tedros will, he's looking at it, he's just like, and kind of like points at it and like wiggles his finger almost a little bit. And he'll cast Prestidigitation, and he will shoot off a puff of wind at the face.
Okay, just like a little.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh. And he tiptoes back away from this thing, back to camp.
Are you okay?
Trees have faces.
Trees have faces.
Yeah. He'll just very quickly take out his revolver, just check to make sure everything's in there. Trees have faces.
Moon's haunted.
Do they have working faces? Or just like painted on them?
No. Like a nose wiggle.
A nose wiggle?
Yeah.
Did it have eyes?
I'm sure there are eyes in there somewhere. On the face. I didn't stay. I figured we should probably talk about that.
Was it like asleep?
It was. It seems like it's less asleep. Well, I hope it's still asleep. I don't really know what to do with trees that have faces.
Well, what if we talk to it?
We can do that.
Oh, but what if it doesn't like us?
I was thinking that.
I'm sure it will like us. I mean, well, maybe it won't like us if we don't talk to it, because imagine being a tree stuck in one place in a forest, and you're just kind of waiting for people to swing by to have conversation with, just like talking to random travelers, right?
Yeah,
And then
maybe
random
it's
travelers
lonely.
are like, actually, I'm gonna go to bed. Feels kind of rude.
Sure.
Well, then what if it has knowledge to share? Like, we haven't really heard much about the forest, and we've encountered bees, and we've been worried about the possibility of giant bees, and now we know there's ground bees, and I mean, maybe the tree could tell us what we have to look out for.
Upsetting discovery.
Yeah, I'm not a
gonna lie,
fan.
I'm not a like I've had a couple of wasp nests in like weird places, but like that's different. That's
Yeah.
different.
I thought we talked to it, see if we can glean any information about this great forest.
Sure. All right, cool. And Tedros will lead everybody back to where the tree was.
Okay.
Yeah, that tree has a face.
Should we wait for it to wake up? Or is that weird?
Should we
I
try to
thi-
wake it up? Or is that weird?
Or is that rude?
I wouldn't want a stranger to wake me up, but at the same time, if a stranger came into my house, I would want them to wake me up and let me know that they were there. And like, technically, we're in the forest, so it's the tree's house.
It's true. It's a good point.
It feels like
Okay.
maybe we should wake it up just to let it know that we're here.
Yeah, like let it know it can go back to sleep and we can like talk later if it wants to.
Yeah, and that we're chill, and it won't have to be worried if it sees us later.
Cool. I think I got all that. And Tedros will he'll just be like, psst. Psst, psst. Hey. Hey, tree with a face.
And then Yule's just gonna be like, "Excuse me!"
There.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The eyes blink open, and you can see it's still all entirely made of wood, and like and everything. There's no like eyes under the eyelids. There are, but like they're also made of wood
Wooden carved
and everything. Yeah.
looking.
And just, it actually when the eyelids open, it is the pale like under the inner wood is what's like makes up the eyes and like the inside of the mouth when it like opens its mouth and says, well, who's woken me up?
Hi.
It was us. I'm sorry. We didn't mean to disturb you. But we just wanted to let you know that we are here in the forest and we've camped nearby and we just didn't want you to be worried about strangers near you cuz you're resting.
Do you announce yourself to every tree you camp near?
Every tree with a face?
No. Well, yeah, I guess that would be that makes one, honestly.
Yes, but
Well,
not
I'm
every
being
tree
based.
has faces.
I'm being discriminated against for my appearance, I see.
Discriminated?
That's
How would this
Well, I'm
be?
being woken up and my sleep is being interrupted. I see no one else is being interrupted. He says, look, the head just kind of, the face just kind of like wiggles around. It can't like fully move, but it like points with its nose at the other trees around.
Are the other trees sleeping?
Well, they're certainly probably not now after all that racket.
Are the other trees alive?
Every tree is alive, yes.
Yeah. But I mean, do the other trees also have faces?
Not that I've seen, but I'm not rude enough to ask.
Okay.
Wow, you guys, I kept saying leave this poor tree alone. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about my compatriots. We will move on.
Well, at least one of you has manners.
I'm not sorry. Mr. Tree, we came here to wake you up to let you know that you had people in your home. I respect the forest as your home, and I just wanted to let you know that I was here in case you had any upsetness at our presence. But
Oh, here we go. The biped's concept of ownership again.
Wait,
waking me up.
whoa. What's with the B word? Hey, I didn't like your tone there, buddy.
Well, you creatures that walk about and talk and things like this are always so impatient and always have such ideas of what's mine, what's yours. All these things, it's exhausting to listen to.
You're telling me.
So,
Amen.
Mr. Tree,
biped too.
Mr. Tree, you're talking about us waking you up.
Yes.
And you're upset by that. But had we just gone about our business, our raucous nature might wake you up anyway. Wouldn't you rather be woken up by someone trying to introduce themselves than somebody who's just being loud and unnecessarily rude?
Well, if you're being loud and unnecessarily rude, I might not have woken up. But now I'm guaranteed to have woken up because here I am.
You didn't wake up from us. And Yule's just going to take a second, and she's going to say, you know what? I didn't know trees could be so cruel. But it turns out that trees with faces are douchebags. Oh, wait! It turns out I shouldn't discriminate. You're just a douchebag. Thanks, tree. I was trying to just let you know that we were here, and if you don't want to know that we're here, then that's fine. We will make ourselves scarce, but we will be here, so don't think we're leaving the forest.
Do whatever you like. I don't think the beetles in my upper extremities ever warned me that they were making a home in me.
Well, did you ever think that that's rude of them?
No, why would I?
I don't know. Do you have a brain?
I don't know. I've never checked.
Oh, well, that's the problem here.
Do you have a brain?
Yes, I do.
How do you know? Have you ever seen it?
No, but I don't have to have seen my own brain to know it exists.
To be fair, if you can see somebody's brain, something's really wrong.
They're usually dead.
Then how do you know you don't have a pine cone in your head?
I'm pretty sure you have a pine cone in your head, or we wouldn't be having this conversation.
I certainly do not. I'm not a pine tree.
Oh, darling.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm not a pine tree either, so...
Well, I can clearly see that.
Is this usually how you interact with other people?
Of course
don't
it is.
usually
He's a
interact
grumpy
with
old
people.
tree.
Oh, all right. And both of you, enough with the name calling, okay?
What
We
names have
just
I
did-
called?
He clearly has no idea how to interact with anyone, and that's
I
fine.
caught the racial undertones for that biped comment. Okay, don't act like you didn't.
I mean, in fairness, I think if anyone's being oppressed, it's the trees by the people, so I'm not offended by him calling us bipeds.
Yeah,
I
maybe
mean, it's
don't try
also
to tone
accurate.
police the tree.
Yeah, I'm not going to tone police the tree, but I am going to tell him he's an asshole.
Sorry, do you have a name?
No, I've never had a need for one.
I love that.
Why do we even care at this point? He's so mean.
Honestly, I think I could learn a thing or two from him.
About how to be more mean?
No, but how to argue.
All right. I'm gonna leave now because this is. I'm gonna leave now. Okay. And Tedros, I think, starts walking away.
Just walks away?
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yule's just standing there staring at the tree.
You find something fascinating about my appearance?
No. But why do you feel the need to talk to me? This isn't your home.
It isn't.
I'm just standing here.
Well, all right. Glad to see you finally got with the program.
So how old are you?
I have
Do you have
never
any
bothered to
concept
count.
of time?
Not terribly, no.
Hmm.
I'm aware it exists. There was a then, there's a now, but I've never taken the time to quantify it.
If a tree falls over in the forest, but no one is there to hear it, is the sound actually made?
Well, if you're... That's a strange thought, because if there's a forest, then there's someone there to hear it.
Are you saying that there is at least one sentient tree in every forest, and that perhaps every forest is actually just a single interconnected consciousness?
No, I'm saying that trees, even trees without faces can hear.
Do you feel pain, tree?
I don't know. I've never bothered to find out.
Are you sure you don't want to go back to Camp Yule? You've got this dark glint in your eye that I've seen very rarely. I actually don't think I've seen it since Agneta.
This tree has Yule fired up.
You've dealt with Diener, Agneta, a giant crab, but this one rude tree is just what sets you along. It's like, it's time for murder.
This is how I become a murder hobo.
This is Yule's villain origin story.
Oh my god, I can't.
Yeah, Yule is going to just narrow her eyes at the tree and turn on her heel and leave. And about a couple paces away, she's gonna look back at the tree. And you could tell there's like gears turning, but you don't know what, like, why, or if there's any means to the end of the gears turning. And then she'll walk away back to the camp.
Okay.
I'm gonna hang out with the tree for a while.
Oh my
Alright.
God.
I'm just gonna get into like pointless arguments with it to see like how long we can kind of like volley back and forth.
Okay.
Because the tree seems to be very good at like talking a lot without saying anything, which is frankly like an amazing skill to have in court.
Mm-hmm.
And Galena doesn't really have anybody she can practice that with.
Okay. Alright, so Galena just sits there, just like volleys back and forth with this tree about just pointless arguments. Alright. Do you have an example of one off the top of your head? You're gonna have to start all of them, because
Yeah. She's like, so birds, what's up with that? To like see what his opinion is, and then she's like, she basically just like asks his opinion on things, and then
just takes
tries
the
to argue
adversarial.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's how she finds her talking
Mhm.
points. is like, all right, I'm just going to argue for like the opposite of whatever your opinion is on whatever I happen to bring up.
Okay, yeah, if he has birds, he's like, what do you mean, what's up with birds?
Like, are they up? Are they down? Do they sit in your branches?
They do sit in my branches. What do you mean, are they up or are they down? I mean, there's some birds are certainly down, but they're not moving anymore.
But so you don't have birds that just walk around on ground? They only hop around in tree or fly above sky?
Well, birds that walk around on the ground are hardly down, now are they?
But they are down in the relation to bird kind, are they not?
Am I bird kind?
I don't know that you're bird kind. Are you bird kind?
Do I look like a bird, do you?
What does a bird look like?
Certainly not me, I'm a tree.
I don't know. I personally feel like there is possibility of you being bird.
If you think there's a possibility of me being a bird, then something is wrong with you.
Is something wrong with me, or is there something wrong with you for not being able to reach your full potential as bird?
Please point to my wings.
Well, who says all birds have to have wings?
You
And
ever
then I'm
seen a
going
bird
to
without
minor
wings?
illusion a like flightless bird that I've read about in a book. This is classified as bird, and look, no wings.
What are those feathery things on the sides there, then? They're not very big, but they're there.
Those are arms.
What's the difference between a wing and a feathery arm?
Well, what is the difference between the long limbs of a branch that ends in feathery leaves and a short limb that ends with feathery down?
Just call my leaves feathers.
I'm saying that your leaves potentially look feathery, yes.
They look looking feathery and being feathers are not the same thing.
Well, who says they have to be same thing?
You just did.
I don't remember doing that.
Just because. I'm not going to sit here and argue on behalf of having mental faculties.
All right. See, I've got to be honest. This is my fourth language. I don't know what you meant by that.
Your fourth language. Oh, look at you showing off. You speak 4 languages.
Do you speak Primordial?
I don't know what languages are called. You'll have to speak them at me and find out.
I'm gonna speak like the Terran subset of Primordial.
Does this tree speak Primordial? Well, there you go. Why couldn't you just do that? It says back in Terran Primordial.
Oh my god, this is so much easier. Ugh. So, yeah, what's new with you? When was the last time you saw anybody? Have you ever seen any other bipeds?
I have certainly seen other bipeds, but it has been quite some time, and I don't know how long, because as we've mentioned, I don't count.
No, that's fair. Can you count?
I can. I choose not to.
How high
Pointless
up
waste
can you
of time.
go?
What?
How high up can you go?
However, how high up I choose to reach. My patience is the limit, not my ability.
Interesting. I think it's my ability, not my patience.
Well, then perhaps you should find out.
What do you like about the forest?
What do you mean, what do I like about it?
What do you like about it?
It's quiet.
What do you dislike about the forest?
When it gets loud.
How often does it get loud?
Not for a very long time.
What's the loudest it's ever gotten?
About now.
Oh, that feels kind of good. So, what if I gave you a name? Are you into that?
You can give me whatever you like. Whether or not I will accept the gift is something else entirely.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking if you'll accept it.
It depends on the name.
Interesting. Okay, I'll think of something good. But it's getting quite late. We've been at this for quite a while. Do you think that you can talk so much because you don't have lungs, you don't actually need to take in a breath?
I've never given it much thought.
You should try giving things more thought.
Why would I do that?
Just for something to do.
I have plenty to do.
Like what?
Well, I was sleeping when you all woke me up.
Well, that's one thing. You said plenty.
Yes, I do.
What else?
Then why are you entitled to my business?
I'll tell you about the things I do, and then it'll be an equal exchange.
Will it? That depends on the things that you do, and I don't know that until I've already received them.
Well, maybe it's not exactly an equal exchange, but it's the spirit of an equal exchange, which is essentially the same thing.
The spirits of an equal exchange sounds like a concept created by someone who intends to cheat someone.
Now that is a very rude thing to say. I've never cheated anyone.
Well, there's always a first time for everything.
So you agree you could turn into a bird and fly away.
No!
But there's a first time for everything. Maybe you shouldn't speak in such absolutes if you're not able to defend them.
I'll speak in whatever absolutes I like.
Well, then maybe you have to learn to deal with the consequences of that. Like having a very chatty lady chat at you about it.
And if I spoken less absolutes, this wouldn't have happened.
Maybe. We can't really know the past. We can only look to the future.
If I know one thing about your kind, it's that you eventually get tired or thirsty and or hungry, so this will end eventually.
Yeah, it will. My party's probably getting a little antsy that I'm not back yet. Alright, well it was great meeting you, Greg. I'm gonna head on out.
Alright.
And to be clear, in Primordial, Craig sounds like the sound of a rock slide happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's very jarring to hear.
Mm-hmm.
It does just mean Greg.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. Ugh, I had so much fun with Greg. Great guy, great tree.
Are you tying back to the group?
Yes,
Great tree.
great tree.
Are you talking about the same tree we just met?
Yes. He has rough, barky exterior, and then inside has heart, spiky like pine cone.
Great tree. Great tree. It's a great tree. I'd love to use him for kindling. Great tree.
That poses an interesting question. Does he stay sentient after being chopped?
Okay. All
I
right.
don't know, but he doesn't even know if he feels pain. I kind of want to find out.
Ladies, I would like to remind you that we came to maybe, only if we absolutely have to, kill one person.
You know,
I'm
I
not
was going to
talking
make
about killing him.
Yes, we're just... No, we were.
I was just talking about finding out if he feels pain.
Why
No,
do
I
we
was-
need to know that?
I'm
I was-
curious.
I
He
was
doesn't know the
pretty-
answer, and now I want to know.
I was pretty firmly in the kill camp, specifically because I wanted my curiosity sated. That is maybe
Oh my
something I should
God.
reflect on.
Yes. If
Journal
you're-
about it.
If you're, oh yeah, that's right. Try that. That's yeah.
Anyways, I'm going to journal and then go to bed. Oh, also, Greg didn't have any information about the forest.
Greg.
Didn't
though.
have any information about the forest or didn't want to share it.
No, we like danced around each other for a while, and I think if he was going, like if he had information, I would have tripped him up a little bit and I would have been able to latch onto something. But no, I think he's honestly just like a grumpy tree who wants to hang out and go to bed.
He has to know something. He lives here.
But anyways, I'm going to go journal about it.
I'm
Who
hungry.
are all of you?
What do you mean?
I'm hungry. That's who I am right now.
Okay, let's well shit. We should well Okay, yeah, we should buy rations or something. Yeah.
Yes, make sure you are. Y'all have rations, right?
I believe so. So, in my inventory, I have.
Yes, I have 1 day of rations.
I have. I guess I had 1 day of rations. Yeah.
Are there any leafy greens about?
Love it when I ask like, all right, make sure you've got everything you need for your trip, and then you get like first night, everyone's like, oh man, we're super hungry. What do we got? You open up the backpack, it's like, we forgot to pack food.
Literally didn't think about it. How long are we on the road again?
I just assumed that we had. I just assumed that I had, but
I have to be so honest. I, the player, did think about rations, bedrolls, and tents, and went, Galena's rich, and people have always just set that up for her. She's not making any effort for it. She assumes that it's being done by somebody else.
I just kind of like, I don't know. We haven't really had to do rations, so I haven't thought about it because we've been in like cities and things. So I didn't realize that like that wouldn't. I don't know. I just feel like that's something we would have thought about like in game, but obviously like it's not top of mind for us right now.
I quite literally thought I had more than 1 day of rations.
Yeah.
It's fine. Tedros says, "Look, we'll just
again.
get through the night.
How many days
Just the one.
is this trip?
3.
A lot more. Isn't it 3 to the portal and then more?
Yeah, the portal's pretty close to the capital.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We'll be okay tomorrow. I can promise we'll be okay tomorrow, but we'll just eat what we got tonight, and we'll be better about this in the future. And we will not tell Princess. We will not tell Princess.
Or Sullivan.
Or Sullivan.
I'm just mad. Because it literally doesn't make any sense that we would go on like a 3-day trip without grabbing food, but obviously that's what we did.
I mean, it unfortunately does make sense for Galena. She is smart, but not in necessarily all the right ways, all the right times.
Yeah, but Yule is hungry all the time. I feel like she would just like stash snacks if they had them.
Marietta's got some snacks in her backpack.
Yeah.
She raided the pantry at home.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like after we left Titan's Grave, they gave us like a butt ton of food in our ship, so I feel like we would have taken some of that, but we didn't like.
Well, because you went from the ship, and then you went and stayed overnight at Galena's aunt's house, and then you had to go back to the ship to get the food.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, we're going to stay at a house.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Don't worry, you'll be able to forage.
Okay, well, you'll eat her 1 day of rations. Does that mean like 3 meals?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
That's enough to get you through. I don't make you worry about like all 3 meals separately. It's just, enough food for the day.
Okay. It's got like, it says quantity 10. I don't understand.
Wait, like on your character sheet it says quantity 10 next to it?
Well, no, it's just like it says rations.
Oh yeah, no. Okay, so
no,
I'm
wait,
not
it
wrong.
does. It does.
I am not wrong. I was like, I could have sworn we've got like.
That's
a bunch of
quantity.
rations.
Oh, I just
Yes,
wasn't looking
okay.
at the quantity column. Okay.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you have
So
10
I have 10 days
worth
of rations.
Okay,
I
there
was
you
like,
go.
it doesn't
See?
make sense.
Yes,
Because we've never eaten any rations, really.
You've just been running around with hardtack and jerky for months.
Yeah.
You don't need to.
Yeah, honestly. All right.
Galena's the only one that doesn't have any food, and then that just makes sense.
Well, Galena can have some of my rations, but she's gone to journal and going to bed, so I think she's just not hungry tonight.
Yeah. I also think Galena has like special rations where like she kind of just has like a granola mix when she does do rations, because again she is vegetarian. So they kind of like the dried meats that you would normally find in rations. She's just kind of like.
Well, I have dried fruit as well, and some hardtack and some nuts if Galena gets hungry. just letting you know.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
And this is why she didn't bring any.
Okay, so I will say 1 day of rations gone, because like we've been traveling for a day.
And I'm going to go foodless this day.
No, you won't. Tedros will be very insistent that you eat because he's had some experiences where he spent like a little bit too long messing around, poking around ruins, and you don't want to like go. This is
Okay,
the
yeah,
kind
like
of
if
thing you don't
someone's
wanna do.
insistent, then like she'll eat. But like like she did go to her bed to start journaling, so like she's pretty hyper focused for the night. So someone's gonna have to be like, "Hey, you dumb bitch, you need to eat something."
Yeah. All right, so yeah, you'll eat by the fire and just kind of like. Wait, did we make a fire?
Question.
We should have made a fire. I do have I have a tinderbox.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tedros will do his best to grab some like wooden stuff from around.
Yeah, you can easily find a bunch of dead wood around.
Okay. It's
Do you think this deadwood used to be Greg's friend?
What?
So do we think the deadwood used to be Greg's friend?
You
oh
don't
my
know.
gosh.
I feel like Galena is maybe falling into like Ali Beardsley on Dimension 20 falling into philosophy, and I don't know that that's necessarily the route I'm meant to be going down.
Well, if it helps, Yule is going down a very dark road with this tree, so.
Yeah, I noticed.
She becomes an eco-terrorist, but like against the ecosystem.
That's the thing, she's not against trees, she's against this asshole tree. It's not personal, no, it is personal.
Yeah.
It's not racist, it's just personal. Alright, so yeah, they light a fire and Yule eats her rations for the night, just staring into the distance. You can tell she's just like brooding about this tree.
All right. Start your fire. It's nice and warm. You hang out around the campfire.
Do we have to expend a tinderbox, or is that multi-use?
No.
Okay.
A tinderbox is basically like a flint and steel. Then it has like
cool.
little bits of like fluff in there, but like you use such a minuscule amount. It's so easy to replace that like you don't.
Cool.
We don't need to worry about like, oh, did you? I'm okay tracking food, but I'm not gonna be like, did you replace the fluff in your tinderbox? Like,
right.
I'm gonna assume that gets taken care of.
Okay. Cool. Yule is also going to is Tedros still up and by the fire?
Yeah, he'll be up for a little bit, I think. Not too late, but he will be up for a little bit.
Is there a water source around, do you think?
That I don't know. Why?
Just wondering about our water supply.
As long as you have enough for today, we'll be alright tomorrow.
I'm gonna say that I do. Because I would imagine Yule would fill her water skin at the house before they leave out for a walk.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, in the morning, hopefully we come across one.
That would be good.
Tedros,
Yeah.
do you think that tree meant to hurt my feelings?
I think the that tree has probably not had much interaction with people.
It
And
seems like he doesn't want much interaction with people.
Yeah, well, one thing that us bipeds have over a tree is that we can choose to go find the interaction that we want. It's not so much that people don't want to talk to anybody, it's just that they don't want to talk to people who aren't going to be worth their time.
Well, that
And,
tree clearly isn't worth any of our time.
That tree might be a nicer person if he had the opportunity to be. You know, it's I try not to judge too strongly what people do when they don't have the freedom to do anything else.
That's a good point. I'll try to be nicer to the tree.
It's up to you. You don't have to.
No, wait, I was perfectly nice to the tree. He doesn't want me to be nice to him. He just doesn't want to talk to me.
I'm not even sure that we need to talk to the tree. I was just trying to make sure that we weren't going to get ambushed by anything.
Yeah, but now that I know the tree doesn't like me, I want it to like me. I don't know why.
Being liked by everybody is a very tall order.
Well, I mean, I know that. I grew up not being liked by everybody. Except for my papa. And
Well,
maybe that's contributing to why I want people to like me now.
well, if it helps, I like it.
I like you too, Tedros. And it does help.
I don't know if that tree likes anybody, so you might just be along with the rest of us.
I'm not certain that tree likes anything.
Yeah. Well, that tree can go ahead and keep on treeing, and if he doesn't really want to interact with us, that's good for him. I don't think that we need to interact with him much. I may try and talk to him tomorrow. We'll see if he even wants to talk to me now that Galena has spent forever
It was
Galenaing at him.
6 hours.
Well, I'd say that if anybody has more of a chance to get through to him, it's probably you. You're good at talking to people.
I'm not the worst at it. I definitely wouldn't say that I'm good at it, but
I would. Everyone feels better after they talk to you, Tedros.
not everybody. But it doesn't have to be everybody, so it's okay.
Are you
All right.
talking about someone specifically? Besides the tree?
Yeah. Well, more than 2 people.
More than 2 people. There's more than 2 people that don't like you?
If I had to guess, there are a lot more than 2 people who don't like me.
I can't imagine anybody not liking you. Except for that grumpy old tree, because he doesn't like anybody.
We'll mark him as a +1 to the list, but yeah.
Well, it's okay. I've added him to mine too.
No. There's some people I'm sure pretty pissed off at me back home, but they can deal with it. I'm not mad about that.
For leaving?
I imagine so, yeah.
They'd prefer you stayed back with them. They want you to do something that you don't want to do. Be something you don't want to be.
Are we still talking about me?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You're right about that. In order to be who you see before me, I couldn't stay there, so I had to. And I know that some people would rather you, if given the choice between have you reach your full potential but leave, or stay and never quite get there, some people are okay with you staying.
Do you ever
Which
miss them?
sucks.
Do you ever miss them?
I wouldn't say that I miss them. I think about them, but I wouldn't say I miss them.
Well, then it's their loss.
Yeah, that's what I tell myself, at least.
And I'm sorry to take delight in other people's sadness, but I'm glad they don't get to keep you.
Me too. Besides, it's okay to take delight in certain people's sadness.
Yeah,
For
like the
instance,
tree.
I was thinking more Lady Ingwe, but yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Lady Ingwe.
If the tree, I don't know, ended up doing the tree equivalent of stubbing his toe, I wouldn't.
If
be
a bird
super
pooped
upset.
on him.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm sure a bird has already pooped on him. Honestly, if I didn't have any recourse to stop a bird from pooping on me, I think I might be grumpy all day too.
That's a good point. Maybe he was really, really nice, and then a lot of birds pooped on him, and after time he just became grumpy.
Yeah. Didn't they say something about like beetles?
Yeah, there's beetles that live like in him. That's kind of
like,
weird.
what if they're like burrowing in there? Like, I don't know.
Oh, that's uncomfortable. He should see a doctor about that.
Tree doctor?
Tree doctor, a tractor.
Tractor.
Mhm.
We'll keep that in mind. Okay.
You know, he should really be a lot more grateful. This is a pretty nice forest.
Yeah, as forests go, I think this is a really nice one.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the bog forests where there's like, well, you know.
No, actually, I don't know.
Well, they say that the souls of everybody who tries to pass through the bog forest and, you know, doesn't make it because it's pretty treacherous, they never leave. They're just there underneath the water.
That's not disturbing. Okay. All right. Well,
Only old Miss Mary is okay with dealing with them.
glad that they and old Miss Mary get along, I guess.
Well, we've got a lot of traveling to do. I think I'm ready for bed.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I'll try to let go of my fixation about the tree.
Yeah. I would probably want to keep a watch personally.
You think it's going to do something?
I'm not worried about the tree. The tree is most likely just gonna stay there and think poorly of us. I can handle that.
Well,
for
what
now.
if it was an act? And he's going to attack under the cover of night?
Then he's gonna regret it, because I got a tinderbox too, and Anyway.
Well, yeah, I think someone should keep watch. Maybe we switch off? I
Yeah.
can go to bed now and relieve you in 4 or 5 hours?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go check on people, actually. I'll be right back. And Tedros kind of goes around to talk to everybody about keeping watch.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, shorter
Yes,
shift
I can
schedule.
keep watch.
Probably shouldn't put Marietta on a watch, though.
She could join somebody on a watch if she wants to, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't put her on like
Alone.
solo watch.
Yeah. All right, what shift schedule are we looking for? You're going first, Tedros.
I think Galena would offer to go first
Oh, okay.
because she doesn't want to have to wake up.
Mm.
That's fair.
Oh,
She's like, yes, I
yeah.
can either go first or last.
Yule would like last watch since she's up early a lot of the time anyway.
Yeah, that works. Tedros can take Tedros will take third.
Wait, what's
And
third? Is that the last one though?
no, is it?
There's
4
only
2-hour
3.
watches?
Oh wait, Victoria's with us. Sorry,
Yeah.
I forgot Victoria's with us. Okay, so Galena, Victoria, Tedros, Yule.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll see you guys at my watch time / in the morning.
Right. Sounds
Well,
good.
good night, everyone. Have sweet dreams.
Yule is gonna go, I guess, roll out her bedroll if she hasn't done that before, because we don't have tents.
Mhm.
Sleeping under the stars. Yeah, she'll just go and find some place that's like a little, like probably near wherever Marietta put her bedroll.
Okay. All right. So Galena's on first watch. Go ahead and make me a perception check, please.
Happily, I will do this for you. Oh, it's 25.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, you
Natural
can
19.
just as you're sitting there and listening, you can just hear the wind blowing through the upper leaves of the trees and just how that sort of makes them shift and groan and just and just as you sit and as you listen, after having talked to Greg for an extended period of time, just the more you sit and just as you spend these hours sitting and listening to the trees groaning in the wood and creaking in the wind, you just get the strangest impression that there could be meaning to these sounds, and it could be conversation being had back and forth between the trees around you, or maybe you're just making things up. Maybe you just need something to entertain yourself. It's hard to say.
Love that. During my watch, I'm like playing with my deck, and just trying to like make it give me information about the man I met in the portals.
Okay. Any readings you attempt to do, at least tonight, about the man you met in the portals they come back muddy and nonsensical.
I am very frustrated when I wake Victoria up for her watch.
Okay. Right. She gets up, and you can go to sleep so she can begin her watch.
Yeah.
Okay. A couple hours later, she wakes up Tedros? Yes, Tedros for his watch.
Mm-hmm. All right. I wishes her a good night. And, real quick before she's like fully settled back into bed, he will. Well, no, he'll do it in the morning. And yeah, he'll settle in and do his own watch.
Okay. Then go ahead and give me a perception check for yours as well. Oh boy.
Is that a 1? Wait, lucky.
Do you have to be conscious for that?
I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. Let me see.
It's luck, but yeah, because sometimes it'll be like a person you can see or...
Yeah, let me find out. Oh, here we go. Dang, it is. You can see. Okay,
Mhm.
never mind.
Yep, if you're
Yep.
usually if you're asleep, you can't use cover
Unfortunate.
for stuff. Okay, so Tedros, you notice absolutely nothing throughout your watch.
Great.
All right, and then you reach the end of your watch, and you can wake up Yule.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, when he wakes her up, he'll say, "No more issues from the tree so far. I think you got it covered."
If he attacks in the middle of the night, I'm just saying now, I told you so.
You will be right, and I will be wrong.
All right, she'll just say goodnight and head over to sit up and keep watch.
Perception check for you too. Perception check for you too.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
What'd you get?
Sorry, let me get back to my abilities. Six.
Ooh, okay. So, your last watch. So your watch as the, you're keeping watch as like the sun rises and everything. And let me just 1, 2, 4. Okay.
I'm gonna go not sleep in peace.
You're keeping watch. You're looking at stuff, but the sun starts to rise at some point, and you can just see like the golden orange light of dawn rising up through the trees, and just like kind of distracts you a little bit as you're looking over in that direction and seeing the like, you know, bright shining light filtering through the trees, and how it kind of like creates those like beams of light through like the early morning mist. Rising up off the foliage, and it just creates this really cool effect as it rises up. You can see them slowly, like, kind of adjusting and changing as the light raises up. And then you turn back towards camp and look in that direction again, just to kind of check on everybody. Because what you hear is, you hear this sound that kind of, I don't know if my microphone will pick it up, because Zoom tends to cut out background noise. I'm just kind of like... And when you look over... there's a elk leaning down and just sniffing Tedros. But the back of this elk, like its back, is probably like 12 or 15 feet high. With just how fucking enormous it is. This like semi-truck sized elk is just like standing in your camp, leaning down and just sniffing the sleeping Tedros.
Yule is going to freeze.
Okay.
And yeah, just take in the size of this majestic creature.
Mm-hmm.
And her first thought is, Tedros isn't going to be happy that Princess didn't talk about the giant elk. So she very carefully. So like, where are we in? Like, where is she in relation to this elk?
Probably like the other side of the fire from it.
Okay.
That's now just like embers.
So, Yule is going to. Okay, Yule is going to like stand up and start like snapping her fingers and being like, "Hey, hey!" like to try and get the elk's attention.
Okay, it'll just the head that's like as big as Yule is just looks up in your direction, blinks those big beady eyes.
All right, Yule is going to Yule's going to grab the glider out of her bag, and she's going to touch the top of it and cast light so that it's shining, and she's just going to hold it up and like wave it in the air and see if like she can capture the elk's attention with it.
Like a T-Rex in Jurassic Park?
Yeah, she's just like, "Hey, hey!"
Okay. Two things. One, can I get a animal handling check from Yule to try and get its attention? And can I get a perception check from Tedros real quick?
Okay. Oh, fuck me.
I am never gonna roll that well again.
Okay.
It is going. Yeah, go ahead.
I got it an 11.
Okay. Tedros, what'd you get?
For perception, Tedros has a 20.
Okay. So you can just hear like this snapping sound that wakes you up along with like some light kind of shining over in your direction. And then as you open your eyes, all you can see over you is just fur. So very much fur. And like just the underside of the neck of this thing that's just like leaning, like you're here and it's just like leaning over you like this, looking in Yule's direction.
I would like to say that Yule, not wanting Tedros to get trampled, would have like wandered into a direction where like if she was getting the elk's attention, it wouldn't like try to go over Tedros.
Okay. All right,
she
so
wants
it's
to
like-
make sure that like she's like leading it away.
Okay, so you get up and you're like walking around in that
Yeah.
direction. So yeah, it's like you wake up basically as its head is turning over away from you. So and just like so you can see like the underside. Then as it turns, you get like a side profile, and then there's the massive antlers.
And then Yule's going to jump. I wonder how do I describe this?
Oh, also, with the animal handling check, it's still looking at you. It's definitely curious and like looking in your direction, but it has not moved to follow yet.
Well, she is going to. Where is the thing that I can do? Here we go. She's gonna do Step of the Wind to double her jump distance.
Okay.
And she's going to jump like as far in the air as she can with her glowing glider, and then shake it so that the glider wings pop out, and then she's going to start trying to like glide away from Tedros and see if the elk will follow the glowing light.
Okay. Give me another animal handling check to try and get it, just like get its attention, get it to follow you, and be more interesting than whatever it's sniffing.
Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. It's even worse. 9.
Okay. Yeah, you
Not
jump
getting
up, you
its
start
attention
gliding
at all.
away. Tedros, you see this thing, it just looks in that direction for a second, and then just leans back down and just continues sniffing at you. The nose is probably like this big across. Like it's the size of your face.
Not what I want to use my spell slots for. Okay. I will. Tedros will. He'll give a low hum, and as he starts to hum, the ground begins to quiver and quake, harmlessly but noticeably. Since it's only a verbal for thaumaturgy, he will do that, and he'll try and center it towards the center of the camp, so that it would feel less of it as it goes further away.
Okay. Give me an animal handling check with advantage. As it is definitely, the earthquake is definitely gonna try like spook it a little bit.
With advantage, that's a natural 20 for a total of 23.
Okay. So yeah, just the early rumblings of an earthquake are exactly the kind of thing that's gonna spook something like this. So it would just kind of like stamps its feet near you a few times, like clods of dirt just get kicked up and like land on top of you before it just kind of just kind of like starts making its way off into the woods. And you can see as it moves through the woods, it like expertly ducks and dodges its head side to side, so its antlers are swaying in and out and between the trees in this hypnotic dance back and forth to avoid just like clattering them into the trunks and the branches.
He'll sees it leave and glides back down and is like, Tedros, I'm so sorry. I swear I only looked away for a second, and then all of a sudden this giant elk was there.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Is anybody else awake now?
The rumbling and the like it leaving probably wakes everybody else up. So Galena, you wake up just in time to see just this big ass elk exiting camp.
I was trying to guide it away. It came up. I got distracted for a second, and the next thing I knew, there was a giant elk sniffing Tedros. I tried to lead it away on my glider, but I just couldn't get its attention.
It's okay. It's all right. I'm here. 10 fingers, 10 toes. 2 eyes, 1 nose. I'm good. Everything's okay.
It moves remarkably quietly for such a large creature.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was there.
Like it didn't hit a single one of those trees when it turned and bolted either, so it's probably got a pretty good grasp of the terrain.
So
It was so pretty though.
Giant bees are a no. Giant elk is a yes. So we can add that to the list of things that Princess Maybe should have mentioned.
We're awake now.
Yeah.
It's all right. We were gonna have to get up soon, I think. So.
Yeah, pretty shortly.
Yeah. Just give me a minute, and I can make sure that we're okay. And Tedros will spend a minute or two or a couple minutes, and he'll do some prayers this morning and swap around some spells.
Okay.
Now that I know. And oh man, but I want everything that I have prepared. Will I really need that? Maybe. We're gonna go with no. He wants that too. Shit. Okay. All right. No. He will not change any of his. He will still do his morning prayers, but he won't change any of his prayer. He won't change any. Shit. No, I do have to, don't I? Something changes on his sheet. We're gonna. Okay, we'll get rid of that. That makes sense. And Tedros is prepared for the day.
Okay. All right. Anybody else do anything special as you're waking up in the morning?
Just the morning routine, drawing the new cards.
Yule can't help herself. She finds a time when people aren't looking and slips away to the tree.
Okay.
Is it awake or asleep?
Sleep.
It's asleep. I shouldn't. But I'm going to. Yule stands in front of the tree and then wanders around to the backside of the tree. How many branches are on this thing? I mean, you don't have to count, but like, are there branches kind of low down?
It's a pretty big tree, so usually there aren't a lot of low down branches. On those, they're all pretty higher up.
Are you gonna shit on the tree?
Have we?
What? Are you gonna shit on the tree right now?
She's not a bird. We should have done long rest, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me take my long rest. Okay, she's going to do. Where is it? Why did I just see it? Yeah, she's gonna, do Step of the Wind. Got new key points for the day.
Okay.
Where are they, though? Oh, right here. Okay, she's gonna spend key point, double her jump distance, to jump into the tree.
Ready? The branch is gonna rattle and the leaves shake a little bit as you jump up there.
Does it wake up?
You don't see it wake up, no?
Alright, she's going to do her sun salutations that she usually does, like, in trees. In the talking tree.
Okay.
She's going to commune with nature and do her acrobatics and stretching and things in the tree.
Okay.
That's how she'll spend up a portion of her morning.
All right. Then, yeah, all right. Then does that leave all of you ready to go? Do you wake the tree up or anything, or do you just do your sun salutations and move on?
If climbing the tree woke the tree up, she was going to talk to the tree, but she doesn't feel like being chastised for waking the tree up again.
Okay.
So she will head down back to the camp.
Okay, you can return back to camp.
Yeah. Tedros is actually going to also head back to the tree.
Okay. So as you well, I'm trying to. Is it funnier if it's after or during while Yule's there?
Whatever.
Like, it's like you two are just like passing each other, like one going to the tree, one leaving the tree.
Oh man.
Sorry, I had to mute myself during.
Oh, if it's like he walks over to do whatever, and then Yule's just up in the branches
Yeah.
doing morning yoga.
1,000% during.
Hey. Tree?
Oh, yes.
Right. Good morning. We're getting ready to head out, but I wanted to ask if there's anything that we as bipeds should be aware of that might pose us any danger, disturb anybody else who is not you, or otherwise just overall be bad.
Well, I would say you should try and avoid disturbing anyone if you're going to want to be polite, but I don't know of much beyond my grove here.
How do we try not to disturb anyone?
Where are you? Who said that?
Me? I'm up here.
What are you doing up there?
Sun salutations.
Well, I've never felt the need to greet the sun, but whatever you feel the need to do.
Your branches are quite nice.
Thank you. Finally, some manners.
I had manners when we greeted you. I lost my manners when you proved that you had none back.
Just no response.
Tree, is there anything you desire? Besides us leaving and shutting up forever.
No, I can't think of much else.
There's nothing a tree wants in this world.
Why would there be?
Everyone wants something.
What a biped way of thinking.
Maybe you just don't know what it is that you want. You're just woefully uneducated of the desires that you could have.
Or maybe those of us who spend our time planted in the ground have learned to find contentment.
Is it contentment if you can't even choose it?
Is it desire if you have no other choice?
I mean, there's always choice.
Well then, I suppose I'm content.
Great. Glad we had this conversation.
Tree, I hope one day you become happier.
Well, I think I will find greater happiness shortly.
Yeah. All right.
Is this because of all of the birds that pooped on you?
Why would I mind that?
Because it's gross?
To you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you just as a thought considered that we don't have the benefits of just rooting ourselves in place and growing? That some of us, because we don't have those benefits, have to make do in a world where we have to move.
Oh, I'm quite aware. It's the sad state of your condition as a biped.
Thank you. I just look. Can we? It's just something about the way you say biped that concerns me. Is all. But anyway, it is scientifically accurate, so I will not press the issue further. Anyway, we are attempting to move through the world with as few ripples as possible, and we thought that maybe we would ask you for some assistance in doing that.
So in an attempt to try and avoid creating ripples, you come over here and make some ripples.
Well, we didn't know that we'd be creating ripples because we weren't aware that you were such an asshole before we asked.
Oh, there it goes.
Ripples.
You have to understand that we nearly walked into a grove full of stinging insects. We are not familiar with this place, and we're hoping to maybe, not also walk into another grove of stinging insects, or perhaps meet a tree who's gonna uproot itself and beat us up or something. I don't know.
Well, I will tell you that most trees in this area, at least the ones I know, tend to stay put.
Tedros, I've realized the problem. Wait, most?
Yes?
They're traveling trees.
I certainly don't feel like getting up anytime soon.
Are there traveling trees?
I'm sure there are somewhere. Poor misguided things, or ones that feel the need to.
But you can.
Yes?
Like, you have feet.
Well, I don't have feet, no.
How do you get up and move around?
With my limbs. My roots.
Okay, but your roots just stay in the ground and you kind of extend them. You don't mean like you uproot yourself and move to a different place.
Well, I certainly could. It sounds very unpleasant.
You do understand that you are both the first talking tree and the first tree that I've encountered that could simply choose to uproot itself, to my knowledge. Yes?
So that means you do have choice. You just choose to stand here and be alone and awkward and annoying.
What makes you think I'm alone?
You said that there's no other trees that talk to you.
No, I said there's no other trees that get up and move. Certainly there's trees that speak to me. Look around you. You're surrounded by them.
But we asked if they have faces, and you said you don't know.
Well, yes, it's a rude thing to ask.
Well, how are they talking to you if you don't even know if they have faces? Are all of their faces just conveniently on the other sides of them, and you just can never see another tree's face? That's so sad and lonely.
Potentially.
Okay, so being a crabby, grumpy old tree in this forest is your choice. But other trees might choose to uproot themselves and kill us.
Well, potentially, I suppose. Given that it's your kind, you could always choose to come in and bring an axe and chop me down.
Well, yes, we always could, and I hope you remember that.
Okay.
Like a threat.
All right. Let's not make death threats.
I didn't say anything.
The point is, we have been nearly stung by an excessive quantity of stinging insects. A few months after, well, a few days after fighting demons, and a few weeks after fighting a giant crab sent by an extra-dimensional entity that wants to end all thinking life in our world. So you may understand that we're kind of looking for a more... I would like to not get into that if I can help it. So that's what this is all about.
What makes you think I can help you?
Well, you've already helped us without wanting to.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You've warned us. Now we know about trees walking around.
Yeah, that is not a thing I thought I had to think about.
So thank you,
Sounds like a
Tree.
you problem.
Thank you, Tree. You've helped us, whether you like it or not.
Mm.
I feel confident about leaving now.
Yeah, okay. Tedros definitely walks away at this point. He was just like, oh, all right, this is... cool.
Yule is just gonna say, Tree, it's been real, it's been fun, but it ain't been real fun.
And she'll tap the tree, cast light, make the entire tree glow, and then glide away.
Well, the size limit on what you can.
Oh, yeah, actually, I think it is. She's gonna make.
Could light up a rock and just leave it there.
Yeah, one object no longer. Wow, no
Yeah.
larger than 10 feet in any. I've never actually looked at the actual specifics of the light spell.
Yeah, it's unfortunately limited.
10 feet in any
Something on his
dimension.
nose.
Until the spell ends, this object was bright.
Ah,
light
yeah,
in
it does
20
have
foot
a nose.
radius.
Yeah, she'll jump down, and she'll make its nose glow, and then she's still gonna glide away because it just seems more
Okay.
fun.
All right. Yeah, that'll last for an hour.
It now has a glowing nose.
Mm-hmm. Greg the glow nose dick tree had a very shiny nose.
Does it really last? It lasts an hour.
Yeah.
Cool.
Again, things that you never really have to look up because it's free to cast, so you
Right.
just usually just like boop, 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 whenever you need it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So y'all can get up and start getting ready to go on your second day.
I was
Very
chatting with Greg.
Tedros realized that he has not checked it for the morning, so he will pull his revolver out of the holster and just double check. Yeah, tree can move.
Yeah, apparently, potentially all of the trees can move and talk. At least here.
I got more of a he doesn't know if the others can move.
But
thing
that's
going
why I
on.
said potentially all, because it could be all.
Okay, I can't think of it being potentially all because I can't fight the forest. I can fight like a tree, maybe two.
Next up on Codex Legendarium, Tedros fights the forest. Tedros versus the Forest is absolutely a movie I would watch.
Is
Very-
moving trees something we have to be afraid of?
I don't know. I mean, that tree was just a dick, but what if a different tree is murderous?
I don't know,
Although,
I guess
does
I
it
just never
count?
considered a tree.
Does it count as murder if it's a completely different species as you? I suppose we murder a lot of things to eat them.
Yes. But it's due to that condition where we need to eat.
Lena stares awkwardly and vegetarian.
He was like, meat is murder, huh? You don't say.
Obviously, your friend Greg would probably think that you're a little bit murderous himself, so.
I didn't do anything to harm Craig. I thought about it
Yeah,
in the
but
name of science.
I just don't think it's murder if you're killing something that's of a different species than you.
I don't think it's murder unless you're killing something that has the power socially to like enact a revenge.
I don't think it's murder unless you're killing somebody for the purpose of killing them.
And just like the simple act of like murder in and of itself is like a humanoid construct.
Yeah,
and,
it's
like, is based on the morals of the country and the time.
that's
It's
why there's a
law,
difference.
not a universal truth.
Well, that's why there's a difference between murdering and killing. I mean, if you step on every bug that comes in your path, but not intentionally, just because you're not looking, then you've killed a bunch of bugs, but you didn't murder them.
Agreed.
And I don't know, if you're killing something to eat it, then you're killing it because you need food, not because you just want to watch something suffer and die.
But is every murder done because you want to watch something suffer and die?
Yeah, I think
don't know, I
most
feel like
murders are
many
done
people
because...
have committed the murder for myriad of reasons.
Well, exactly, but it's not a reason that is, like, for anything other than suffering.
I mean, sometimes people murder other people to eat them.
Well, yeah,
We
but
don't
it's
know
your
it's
own
murdering people to
species.
eat them.
It's your own species, then that's cannibalism. Which is a whole other topic.
No, but it's a whole other topic, yes, of course. But it's also like octopus has arms that touch other topics.
Yes, but, like, I'm no better than a tiger.
What's a tiger?
Something I heard of once. A meat-eating creature. If animals can eat other animals, and they're not murderers for eating other animals, then what makes you think you're better than them?
Who said anything about being better than anybody?
You, when you judged us.
I did not judge anything.
Stares and vegetarian. Meat is murder.
Listen, the wind said meat is murder. I simply said nothing other than I could not contribute to conversation because we were talking about eating meat.
Hey, Marietta, how you feeling this morning?
Oh, pretty good. Are these conversations you're having while you're walking, or are these conversations you're having like while you're like
think
getting
we're
ready to
all
leave
just
camp?
like getting ready to leave stuff.
I
Okay.
thought this was a getting ready, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she's packing
Well-
up her stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and figure out which direction we're supposed to go in.
Did they give us a map?
Yeah.
I wonder, like, is the map like, because you know how there's some maps where they're like, hey, look, this part of the ocean, there's sea monsters. Is it like that, where it's like, hey, this part of the forest has like weird squigglies on it that like maybe mean something?
No. Not that helpful.
Damn. I hope we see the giant elk again. That thing was cool.
I'm not quite sure if that thing was safe to be around. I got the feeling that Tedros was about to become a snack.
Oh, I wasn't so much worried about the elk. It was just sniffing. I don't think we had anything particular. Like, it...
The trees move here. Who knows if the elks eat people?
I kind of prefer, mostly because it helps me actually fall asleep at night, I prefer to assume that things will work normally and then adjust accordingly when they don't.
And that's why you keep getting surprised.
I will say, the other option is to kill every elk we come across, because it could be looking to eat me. And that's, if they're all that size, I don't have enough for things that are all that size.
I don't think we have to kill them just because they want to eat us. We just have to try to avoid them.
Fair. I'm just going to say, though, I think that elk is definitely faster than me, certainly bigger than me, and if it wanted to eat me, I would put up a fight, but if I were not me, it wouldn't work.
I mean, we fought a crab bigger than the elk.
Yeah, remember how that went?
No one died? No one stayed dead? Technically, I think Victoria did die.
No one died. No one died. But some people got seriously hurt, though, so let's
try to avoid the giant elks. Should we get on the road?
Or whatever passes for it in this space, yeah.
Okay. Then let's go ahead and start the day off with a navigation check. Survival.
Cool. How do you feel about sixes?
Pretty neutrally, I guess.
Cool.
Much more positively when compared to the number three after them.
That is a better. That's not what we have, though. We have just a 6 for that survival check.
Oh, total, not even just on the die.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tedros starts to feel a little lost. Get a little bit off track. I will tell you, if someone was helping Tedros and providing the help action, that does provide advantage. But
Yeah, and I'm really into my book.
yeah, fair. Okay, let's see. All right. So yeah, all right. You're navigating your way around, and there does come one of those moments where Tedros, you'll notice at first, just like, oh, I've seen that rock before. Oh, we just went in a big circle.
Okay. I'm gonna make a suggestion.
Have we passed this rock before?
Yes, we have. So my suggestion is that somebody who's maybe a little bit better at picking out the I didn't do a lot of foresting when I was growing up, so I'm doing my best right now. But my best is not as good as somebody else's best. Please, somebody else do their best.
I could try.
That would be great. Thank you.
What am I rolling?
Survival. Is Tedros helping?
Yes, Tedros
Okay.
is helping.
Then roll with advantage because Tedros is helping.
The dice don't like me today.
Well, we'll see.
Okay. I think I had 5 in survival, right?
Mhm.
All right. 21.
Okay. And Yule was able to get you all back on track.
All right.
Lost a little bit of time, but Yule was able to get you back on track.
Figured it out. Her time in the Shire has helped.
All right.
So,
Let's see. So as you're traveling along today, eventually, pretty uneventful for most of this day, but as you're traveling along, you're gonna pass by the edge of a clearing. Like you're still walking through the trees, but you can see that it opens up a clearing next to you. Not very big, but against one side of the clearing is a set of stones, like kind of 2 piles of stones, and then a pile of more flat stones, about 3 tall, with some other stuff at the back, and it kind of forms almost like a table structure. And Tedros, you would recognize a rudimentary altar.
Can Tedros figure out who or what the altar is to?
You'd have to get closer. You're kind of just seeing it from a distance at this point, but yes, potentially.
Okay. He will cautiously move forward towards the altar, so that he can get close enough to see what the altar is all about.
Okay. Yeah, so as you get closer, you can see that it is basically set up kind of like you got like a flat surface with like a back to it. Looking at it, it kind of looks non-denominational. It looks like there's no particular like symbology or anything on it. And then sitting on the altar itself, you can just see like small animal bones, like husks of like nuts, or like, and there's some like seeds and things like that. And it looks like this is you would deduce that this looks like the leftovers of offerings.
He will kind of like walk around and see if there's anything else in the vicinity, any other markings to it, or if it's just there.
Just seems to be there. No other markings, no other anything else. Just this altar standing alone in the woods, in this clearing.
Tedros will head back to the others to say, if you all have any nuts or anything from your rations, can I get a couple?
Yes,
One from a little bit from each of you,
of course.
and he'll take out his own as well. Just like 1 or 2 nuts, something like that, or a couple berries.
Yule takes out some nuts and berries.
And Tedros will make a point to offer Galena. Hey, do you accept this as yours?
Oh, these rations?
Yes. You're gonna need these for today because eating.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I will accept them. It's mine.
Fantastic. May I have some of your rations? Just 1 or 2.
I give you like the meat portion of the ration.
Yes, that works. That shouldn't have been in there. I'll give you a little bit more later. And Tedros will walk over to the altar. And he will say a small prayer to Gugut, and then will continue the prayer and ask for respect and I guess, peace while walking through the forest from whatever entity
Okay.
overlooks this altar. And he will leave that offering there.
Okay. As you leave the offering on the altar and offer a prayer with it, the sort of like loose collection of bones, nuts, and seeds starts to shift and shake a little bit and kind of roll across the surface. And as you finish your prayer, they form into the shape of a crescent moon.
And Tedros gives thanks.
And
mhm.
go ahead.
No, he just checks to
Okay.
see if anything else has shifted.
After you acknowledge it and give thanks, the things that have made up the symbol kind of split into two different piles and form two different symbols. One is a symbol. One appears to be in the shape of a sword. The other one appears to be in the shape of like a book, kind of illustrated out, outlined by the bones, with a very small, crude little crescent moon on the cover, made of like little seeds.
Tedros will look between the two and then say the book.
As that happens, one of the seeds that forms the crescent just sort of like blossom, not exactly blossoms. It's more like, it's almost like you're watching something happen in reverse as the brightly colored flesh of a blueberry, like the purple, it's like the layers of the purple and everything form at the insides before like the skin forms around it, and then just it glows dimly, and then just like kind of sits on top of the pile of the others on that side of the table.
And he will reach over and pick it up.
Okay.
Is it Tedros will immediately, after he takes it, he'll give another small bow.
Mhm.
And if nothing else changes about the altar, we'll head back to the others.
Okay. There's a little glowing blueberry.
All right, I think everything's good here.
What happened?
Not too much. Just found this.
What is it?
I'm not entirely sure. A couple guesses, but
Will I detect magic?
sure. I was gonna do it when we had a chance, but you want to do it now?
Yes. I could just pop it quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pop detect magic just
Okay.
to kind of see what school it is.
All right. Detect magic. It is the school of
Hard
divination.
knocks.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, cool. Divination magic.
I think I have an idea. I was gonna say take care of me if something happens, but I guess I'll take care of me one more time. And Tedros pops the berry in his mouth.
Okay.
I have healing magic. Not today, but
All right. So you pop the berry.
occasionally.
You pop the berry in your mouth right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Popping the berry in your mouth activates and casts the spell that was contained within it. And the spell that was in it was Legend Lore. So, yeah, you used it, so you have to use it now.
Mm-hmm.
You can name or describe a person, place, or object. The spell brings to your mind a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing you named. The lore might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that has never been widely known. If the thing you named isn't of legendary importance, you gain no information. The more information you already have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information you receive is.
Oh my god, there's so many options.
The tree.
Not the tree.
Greg.
Not fucking Greg.
The information you learn is accurate, but might be couched in figurative language. For example, if you have a mysterious magic axe on hand, the spell might yield this information. It gives you an example.
Does Tedros have to speak the name out loud?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, come on. We don't get to know. Oh, that's
get to know.
evil. Oh, okay. Okay,
Players
okay.
get to know.
Wait. Are you gonna do this for Tedros' backstory stuff and not like forest stuff? Because you should.
Tedros
Wait,
is...
did you say forest stuff? Because I was thinking about like the ancient society stuff that Tedros loves to learn about.
Oh, there are so many good.
There's
options
so many
for you. This was
options.
a dick thing to do.
What about
This
Agneta?
seems like a good gift, but this is actually a
This is
mean
a curse.
gift.
Like,
This
what
is a
about
gift of
Agneta?
choice.
We would love to learn more about Agneta and Canro. Oh, there's too many options.
The other thing too is if you had cast Identify on it, you would have known what it was, and you could have like waited. But now you've got to
Yeah.
make a choice.
I don't
Oh,
believe that
shit.
Tedros has access to Identify.
I thought you did.
I think Arcana clerics do have Identify, don't they?
I will double check.
Oh no, it
I
doesn't
don't
show
have
up as a.
Identify,
Yeah, no.
nope.
So, I thought somebody had Identify.
I don't.
Okay.
Tis not I. Believe me, I want it. But
Mhm. That's right. I keep thinking you're a knowledge domain, and knowledge domain gets Identify.
I think the shit.
Honestly, I would have left the call if this happened to me. You're stronger than I am, Ark.
I am aware that shit. I'm aware that this is a bad time. This is a terrible time for this. But I legitimately think and I will say you don't have to give me an answer at this exact moment, Sam.
You do.
Okay.
But
Yes.
Tedros names Victoria the 5-star chalice.
Ooh. Interesting.
How did I not think of that?
That never even momentarily crossed my mind.
I knew it was the very first thing that come to Tedros' mind. I'm
Holy
trying to justify
shit!
not,
So does he just get like our backstory doc or?
Oh my god, you summoned her. You just summoned her. You fucking summoned her in the chat.
I'm texting her right now.
I fucking can't handle this. This was the best usage of it that you could
No, honestly, you could not have picked a
possibly
better
chosen.
choice.
This was it. Man, I'm so impressed.
Brief summary of the significant
What a fucking
lore
power move. What a
about
fucking
the
power
thing
move.
you named.
What a power move. We all want to know about each other. What a power move.
Damn you all.
Ooh, that's
Oh my god! He gets
a
to
good
do
one.
that! He gets to
That's
do that!
such a good one. We built such
That's
a cool lore.
insane.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
if you need like a week or two to think about it before I get
You're-
the full information, Tedros is going to keep whatever it is that he gets to himself for a while anyway. I
Okay,
know for a fact
okay.
he's going to keep it to himself.
You're
Then we will.
gonna get to know about the deal. Oh my god.
I'm going to because I want to be very careful with my words here because it does specifically say the information you learn is accurate but might be couched in figurative language.
Right, yeah.
So I'm gonna take my time on this. Tedros gets something. I'm gonna say it takes some time to process and figure out, especially because I would like Rose to be here
Yes,
yeah.
when we get the information as well. So
Wow.
yes. So you do that.
And the spell is buffering.
And the spell buffers a little.
Wild.
All right. Ooh.
And that wraps up this week on Codex Legendarium. Thanks
I mean,
so
we're
much,
coming
everybody.
we're close at this point. Like we're getting,
Oh my god.
we're getting to our ending spot, but we're not quite there yet. But yes.
Oh, it's not what I wanted to use it on.
Wow.
Oh, but I know that's what he would use it on.
Wow. Iconic.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It was so good.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
How did
Alright.
it taste?
That was the best blueberry you ever had. It's perfect. Perfectly ripe. Perfect flavor. It's the platonic ideal of a blueberry.
I think that is easily the most singular experience I've ever had from a blueberry.
It tastes
Ever.
singular?
I
honestly cannot wait to hear how
I
Sam
just
works
want
this.
you, like, it wasn't bad. It definitely wasn't bad. I have never had something quite like that before.
I'll have to try it sometime. But we've got to hit the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be thinking about that all day. Maybe even longer. It's one hell of a blueberry.
Here, because the timing will work out perfectly, and it seems thematic. You'll know actually because this was a special Gugu Legend Lore blueberry, that you ask your question, but the answer will come to you at the first light of the moon.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing blueberry.
We love to see it.
All right, continuing onward.
Yeah.
Onward
All
and so
right.
forth.
Okay. With that, also, I will say that just for today, you don't need to make another survival check today for your travel. Tedros is providing very helpful guidance, and Tedros, you don't know how you know, but you just kind of know for this one. Like you're just very aware of the direction you should be going in for the duration of today, and you do not need to worry about making any additional checks today.
All right.
And eventually, you can find a good spot to camp. It is you manage to find a stream, not quite. It's slightly bigger than a stream, but not quite a river. It's probably about like 10 feet across, moving pretty gently. And it actually leads the stream actually goes into the mouth of a cave. It flows into a tunnel, and kind of like
Flows, you
echoes.
say.
What?
No, sorry, I was making a joke about my own name. It was stupid.
Oh, okay. Into like a cavern opening where and down and into it, and creates like this kind of slight echoing water effect. Not a distracting amount, kind of like a nice relaxing water sounds type situation. And the natural mouth of the cavern does extend over a bit, so there is a place where there's like dry land next to the water that's also sheltered by the cavern, so you would have very immediate access to some very fresh, clean water and also some shelter.
Awesome.
All right. This looks good for tonight.
Water.
Yeah.
You will go and fill her water skin.
Okay. Yeah, and you can see that it does. The cavern does continue deeper, like the water does. Follow there's like a path next to the water. It's not like just water wall to wall in there, at least at this part. But you can walk alongside the stream still into this cave. But you're camped just outside.
That's cool.
Mhm.
Yule would sidle up to Marietta and be like,
Hey, would you like me to fill your water skin?
Oh yes, please. That'd be nice. I mean, I can do it too, but if you want to, that would.
Well, yeah,
I would-
I can do it.
and she'd
Okay.
go and fill it and come back and then ask,
Would you like to take a walk through the cave system?
Sure. All right. Yeah.
all right, and then they embark in, I don't know how deep it goes.
Oh yeah. You just go start walking.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. You can go ahead and you start walking. You're just kind of exploring into it.
Just see what's
Um,
there.
I've never really been in a cave before.
Yeah, I've been in a couple of caves, but nothing like this. This is really nice.
Is this nice as far as caves go?
Yeah, I think it's really pretty.
I suppose it is. Is this usually how your adventures go?
How would you describe what this is?
Walking trees, giant animals, magic blueberries, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, all of that's pretty par for the course, although none of that has actually happened before. So, at least there's variety.
Suppose there is that.
Yeah, you never get bored.
Certainly not boring, no.
We all learn a lot and meet a lot of new people and a lot of new creatures, and a lot of them try to kill us. But, as you've seen, a significant portion of them also don't try to kill us.
That's good.
Yeah.
And Yule will have, there's no like light in the cave, is there?
Correct.
So
It's pretty dark.
Yeah, so she will have been like carrying around her glider as a torch.
Okay.
And she'll just like wave it around. Like, is there anything of note in the cave?
Not terribly, but it does keep going a little bit deeper. You can actually see the water flows into. There's a spot where the water flows into where the ceiling gets kind of low, so you'd have to like kind of duck down pretty low to get into it if you want to proceed further.
Okay. Well,
Do you want to go any further?
Do you?
I mean, I'm kind of interested.
Sure, yeah.
so they'll duck down and she'll make sure that Marietta gets through comfortably. As
Okay.
comfortably as possible.
Okay. All right, yeah. You can duck down. You can help each other through and like make your way under. It's like the kind of like a little jagged opening, like little stalactites hanging down. But you can make your way in, and as you get into this next room and both stand up, you can see it's a round, just a round pool of water that the stream flows into, and just seems to vanish. Like it just stays level once it gets in here. There's like slight ripples at the entrance where the stream flows into it, but otherwise perfectly flat, and you can't really see how deep it goes beyond it. But for a second, it's really strange because when you hold up your light and look into the pool, you don't see Marietta's reflection next to you. But then when you look next to her, you can see she's right there. And then when you change the when you move and change the angle of the light, suddenly she appears next to you. And there's a strange visual as you move the light back and forth of almost like looking through different facets of a gem in the reflection on the water. And as you do, like you move it, you can see Marietta appears. You can see there's one, like you can see she appears, but like she's wearing different clothes. You can see one where you have like a significant scar. You can see one where, and like as you change it and like alter the angle of the light, you can just see just minor differences change between the two of you, including for you, her being there or her not being there in a few of them, and she seems to be also just looking down at it as well.
I think Yule's kind of speechless and would bend down and try to touch the surface of the water.
It's just water, just ripples
It's just water.
spread out through the reflections on it.
But it seems curved. like a gem, like the surface of a gem?
It's not that it seems curved. It's like when you move the water. It's like when you move
Yeah.
the light.
It's a
It's like
trick
the
of the light.
reflections. Yeah, it's like a trick of the light. The reflections like shift and move in a similar way to like when you turn to look at a different facet of a gem.
Marietta, are you seeing this?
I think so. That's strange. Never cut my hair like that before.
I've never had a scar right there before.
You have a scar? I didn't see one with you with a scar.
Yeah, right there.
That's...
There's also an angle where I can't see you.
Which one?
Right about...
And she'd like drag her into the place and like hold the light right there.
That's odd because when I look at it, I see myself, but I see that. She like jumps and looks behind her, but then jumps back and says, "My mother."
And I guess you'll like gasps and pulls the light closer, so like everything changes to a different view.
Yep, it's like several outfit changes over.
Yeah. We should show the others.
Yeah. When you the one you pulled it to after she said she saw her mother, when you move it over to there, you see yourself wearing a unfamiliar style of clothing. Very practical looking, with probably like some long gloves, probably like goggles, and when you just like as if approaching from one side, you can see a pair of shadows just out of sight. Like the people are just out of sight, cast on the wall. But since you weren't intentionally trying to hold that one, you move like to go to say we should go get the others, and then the vision vanishes.
You said long gloves and goggles.
Mm-hmm.
And you said a practical outfit?
Yeah, almost like the kind like a sort of fantasy medieval era scientist would wear.
Okay. She, like, after that, you can see for a second, she, like, a look of confusion passes her face, and you can see her trying to angle the light back that same direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're having a hard time finding, because you didn't intentionally find it, and then you moved away from it. You're having a hard time figuring out where the exact placement was, and you can't quite get it to come back.
And so she then just turns to Marietta and is like,
We have to show the others.
All right.
Okay, so they make their way back out.
Mm-hmm.
Quickly, but obviously carefully in this cave system.
Mm-hmm. You can emerge back out into camp.
Guys, there's something in the cave. I don't know.
Little bats?
No, there might be bats. We didn't encounter any bats.
I'm very afraid of bats.
Is it dangerous?
I don't know. There's a pool of water in the cave. You see the lake, or like the little water, the stream. It flows into this pool of water that, you can see a reflection, but different. Like
Different how?
At certain angles, it would change to you in a different outfit, or with like a scar, or something changed about you. And there was one where I didn't even see Marietta next to me, and one where she saw her mother.
You should check it out.
Yeah, we had to tell you.
Okay.
All right, we lead them back to it.
Okay. Yeah, you can climb. It's harder for the taller people to make their way in, but you can get in there.
I'm just imagining Galena like army crawling through a space that you all just had to duck a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's not thrilled.
But yeah, you can make your way into this Yeah, you can make your way into this space where you can see. Yeah, it's like there's not a lot of space to stand, so you're all standing in this like narrow patch of dry land in front of this pool. Just very smooth glassy surface of water. And you illuminate the light.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can illuminate the light, and yeah, all of you can see. Yeah, those shifts and changes. Things like the presence, different outfit, scars or injuries being present or gone. Like Tedros, one of them, you can definitely see the presence of like very large teeth marks in like having like bitten down onto you, like some kind of like large bite injury on yourself in one of the visions.
Like a land shark.
No, more like the size of a giant elk.
No! You did
Listen.
this. You did this.
Did what?
It's fine. It's fine. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. There are some significant ones though that each of you see as you're and all since you're just kind of moving it around. I will tell you also you can pretty quickly figure out none of you see the same thing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
All of you see something different for each of these angles. But each of you do see at least one thing significant for each of them. Tedros, you see yourself standing there wearing very familiar, very nice looking priestly robes, not dedicated to Gugut, and with just kind of a haunted, dead inside look on your face.
Yikes.
Yule, you can see yourself dressed in a very, very nice, very like not road worn carnival outfit, like your carnival uniform. But you swear that your eyes were glowing red instead of their normal color. And Galena can see yourself. What?
We don't gotta do this.
No, we're going
Oh,
to. We're going there.
But you see yourself looking regally majestic. Just absolutely dressed like a queen for the desiccated, mummified, ancient corpse that is looking back at you.
Wait.
That's great.
There's
Thanks, Sam.
Galena is looking that way, or someone else?
Galena.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. I mean, it's hard to tell, but like, it's in the spot where Galena's reflection is to herself.
Yeah.
As if you've been dead for hundreds, if not thousands of years.
Well, I will be keeping that to myself.
Okay. Yeah. And other ones are much more mundane. Like, you wore a different, like, another one is just like Galena, like, looking unhappy and sore and wearing her heels instead of the boots. Another one is like Yule looking very warm and unhappy and wearing the cloaks.
I wish I had them.
But like generally it's like minor differences, but then there's a few of those angles where you can just like suddenly a major difference just leaps out at you. And others too, like also as you're waving it around, you can see images where Sully is in the room with you, so ones where Princess is in the room with you as well.
Oh, paths we might have taken, futures that might have been.
So I don't think there's anything inherently dangerous about the pond. I think the danger lies in obsessing over the pond. And in that regard, I would say that I think we should leave. And I think we should leave it alone while we camp here.
You think Maybe it draws people in and then they drown.
Perhaps. Or perhaps it draws people in to the point where they can no longer live in the reality that they currently live in.
I just wonder about some of these.
Yeah, I think you are especially susceptible as a wanderer.
There's just a lot to take in.
Yeah.
We should take it outside.
Yeah.
Okay. They head
You'll head back-
outside. Yeah.
You head back to camp. Okay.
I'm gonna bring up the rear,
Okay.
and try to, as stealthily as possible, fill my water skin with this water.
Okay.
Sneaky, sneaky.
All right.
Just trying to think, is there anything that can be done? Like, no one tried detect magic. Do we have that
I
in the
only
group?
got it once a day.
Oh, gotcha.
Tedros could cast it. But I think that with what he's already seen today,
There's
or about
probably
to see
some
today,
magic, yeah.
Tedros is, but like I think Tedros feels fairly confident that his magic.
Yeah,
He can't
it's-
tell any more than that. He's just gonna leave it alone.
Fair.
I got an 18 plus 1 on my stealth for a 19.
Okay. Does anybody? I mean, if anyone's looking at or for Galena, then I think that just happens.
I think Tedros is probably keeping an eye out,
Okay.
but we'll see if he actually sees it.
I mean, in fairness, Yule has the light, so I think she would probably have been, like, trying to stay back so everyone has their path. Or maybe she's trying to illuminate the path ahead, so I'm gonna say you get away with it.
It's
What was the total?
I had a
19.
19.
Yep. Tedros notices but doesn't say anything.
All right. Then y'all can make your way out and back to camp.
All right. So this forest is definitively magical.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Very fun.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. Princess is a pretty magical person.
It's true.
Yeah, this is true. I just thought it was a her thing, but it may be a little bit more than that.
Okay. Y'all start getting ready for bed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And right about as you're all starting to get ready for bed is when the moon peeks out from behind some clouds, and Tedros is gonna get some knowledge dropped on him. And we'll do that next week. So thank you for joining us, everybody. We're happy to be back in the new year. We will hopefully be keeping more consistent as we make our way into the cities of Avelia. You're almost there. Once you go to sleep, you'll be arriving that next day.
All right.
So
Sounds good.
So good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We'll see y'all next week.